What are these? They don't use this. I'm off in the weeds. Stick around. Let's find out what this is all about. Hey everyone, welcome back. I'm Scott, Edge of 3D, and yeah, it's been a while, so been a few months since I put out a video. We're just going to call it the dark days of 2025 and early 2026. Personal stuff, job stuff, blah blah. We're going to move on from that. So, several months ago, a company called HeyGears reached out to me, and I'll be honest with you, I'd never even heard of them. Reached out and said, can we send you one of our printers and wash stations and cure stations and blah blah and have you try it out? So I went online, I looked up and seen who they were, and quite impressive machines. So here we go. They sent me the Reflex RS Turbo, which that's the printer here. The wash station, which is behind me. I'll put a quick video up here. It's a shaker table that shakes the. Well, you put your printed parts in here, and then it shakes it like this and washes it. And these are a whole nother next level of stuff because they have valves in the top and bottom and vents and everything, and you can set one on top of the other and open the valve and it drains it, and yeah, all kinds of stuff. So, and then the curing station, which it's as much oven as it is curing station. We'll get into that in a minute. So here's my unboxing video. This is what everything was in the boxes, and here's everything out of the boxes. There you go. That's the unboxing video. Not going to get into a big, long detail about unboxing and show you and all that, or get, just over the top with specs. Let's talk about what the HeyGears printers are, what they mean, who they're for, and show you what they can do. So HeyGears has developed an entire ecosystem. And if you've tried resin printing, much like I have, and you have had lots of resin printing failures, much like I have, you don't have a really good opinion of resin. I can get it done. I've printed resin stuff when I've needed stuff that's printed in resin rather than FDM. I've had other resin printers. I've made it work. But it's a lot of trial and error and a lot of failures, and why did it fail, and fixing this and fixing that, and which way do I turn the piece, and how do I support it, and how long does it each layer, and how much lift, and how fast does it lift, and how fast it. There's so much to learn. HeyGears took all the guesswork out of it. You use their slicer, you put the file in their slicer. If it needs repairs, which a lot of files do, it automatically repairs it. A couple of clicks, it orients it. It supports it. It figures out everything. And then you send it through the cloud to the printer. The wash station behind me is actually Wi-Fi connected, and you send it to that and the curing station. Then all you do is whatever material you selected. Now this printer here has I gotta blank this screen out here, otherwise it's a really bad feedback on there. The printer has an automatic fill. You take your HeyGears resin jug and you take the first cap off, and there's a valve in there. And inside the resin vat, back here at the back of the machine, there's a pin right back there. When you drop this in there, like that, that pin hits that valve, and just like a dog water bowl where you fill the tank and flip it upside down, when it gets low, it automatically refills. No pumps, no fuss, no mess. It just works. I've had other printers where it uses a pump system. Great, but then when you change resins, not only do you got to clean the vat, but you got to clean the pump, and you got to run alcohol and this and that through the pump and get the pump cleaned out, and then you got to dry it out so the next time you put it, it's just, this works. This just works. takes out all that extra effort. So there's that. HeyGears themselves, that company was started in 2015, and they focus on building complete manufacturing systems, not just printers. The RS Turbo, or this printer here, is just that's their approach to the 3D resin printing. And you know, you can buy just the printer, but I strongly suggest the whole ecosystem because it all just works together. And I'll throw a link up here. In an effort to keep this video from getting way too long, I didn't want to do a how-to step-by-step. I did a separate video on that. Link will be up here and in the video description down below. But you basically send it here, send it there, and each step you just select that and it takes care of it from there. This is what you get. Absolutely beautiful prints. So you have to use their ecosystem, but they have so many different resins to choose from. And whether you're new to the hobby or you're a maker that's more worried about making things than tinkering around with printers and settings, or even a small shop where you just need repeatability and you need to print the same gearbox over and over and over again that just fits, everything just fits. We'll get into that in a minute. That's who these are designed for. Much like the FDM world, you have your printers that you build from scratch, and you're constantly tinkering and, you know, little here, little there. And then you have the printers where you buy it. Some of them even now have RFID chips in the spool, and you scan the RFID chip, put the filament in, slice the file on their slicer, and it handles everything. That's what HeyGears is doing with this resin printing ecosystem. Use their material, use their slicer. It knows how to slice it, what to do with it, figures it all out. You just print it. And I'll throw a up-close video of these on a turntable. This is the Amerilabs City. The detail on this thing is just absolutely mind-blowing. And then my version of a resin benchy is the Eiffel Tower. And I'll put links to these models in the video description down below. And as you can see up here, one side of me, the other is this on a turntable, showing you the detail. It's unbelievable. So that's one of the places that resin printing shines, when you have something that you need extreme detail on, super fine detail. And some of the details you find down in this city, the longer you look at it, the more stuff there is. These are you want to test your printer right here. This little Amerilab City, unbelievable. The other thing that these are really good for is precision engineered parts, where you want to print something, but you want to get close to the same level of precision as machining. And if you've watched my videos, you know I have a Milo mill. It's right over there, and I machine stuff, but I don't know that I can get much better precision on the Milo mill machining this in aluminum than I got printing it right here on the PAU 11. This is a differential. So HeyGears asked me, hey, do a project where you use mixed materials, FDM printing and resin printing. And I'd had the 3D Sets Reaper. I'd bought the files a long time ago, just never had a reason to ever start it. Well, it's done. It's here. Here's the Reaper. And, you know, the body and all this is mostly printed in FDM, filament printer. But under here, the transmission is resin, the rear end is resin, and it just works. Everything works so smooth. There was absolute minimal post-processing on this differential. And the reason there was any post-processing at all is because it's actually designed to be printed FDM. So there's some little things that had to be taken into account when switching it over to resin. And I had to put a couple of holes in things. But when it was done, the bearings just fit. And there's lots of bearings in here. And there's lots of gears. There's tiny little gears, there's bigger gears, there's a gear on each end of this. You got your pinion gear here and your ring gear, and then inside there in the pumpkin is your differential gears, and there's 3 tiny little gears on bearings. And I mean, we're talking tiny little gears. And this thing just works. It's a working differential. If you look at that, when I turn the drive shaft input, it's turning both sides. If I hold one side, it still turns the other side. And right here, right up next to the mic, I'm spinning it. It's just smooth. There's no noise, no nothing. It just works. The bearings fit. The gear mesh is good. It just works. The reason I have a second one of these is, well, partly because when I did the first one, that video, that SD card that video was on had a unfortunate early ending. So I had to reprint it anyway, but this is my new fidget toy. I'm really surprised I haven't wore the yokes off of it, because down in my media room, this sits right next to the chair that I sit in on the table, and I constantly fidget with it nonstop. It's just that cool. So that's where these type of printers excel. High precision, high detail, like such as this, and you've all seen the different Dungeons and Dragon pieces and the characters and all that. High precision, high detail, high strength. You're gonna be tough to get 3D printed in the FDM format to get some of the strengths that you can get out of resin printing when you use the right material and the right settings and you cure it correctly and everything else. So that's where it excels. That's the reason why now, when I get moved to my new studio where I have lots of room, this whole setup is going to remain part of my workflow. I'm going to use it. I love it. So I'm not going to get into huge details about the specs on the machine. Link in the video description down below. You can read about the specs. It uses an amber screen, and it doesn't, HeyGears doesn't do the 16 million pixels, 12 million pixels, 8,000 pixels, this, that. They don't do that. They judge theirs on a different level. I don't know how many thousand pixels it is, but I can tell you by the quality of this right here, you're not going to get any better than that. So they have got that figured out. But the Z-axis itself, it uses a ball screw, not a lead screw, a ball screw, high precision ball screw that you would see on high-end CNC machines. It's a high-end CNC machine. It's computer numerically controlled machine. It's a CNC machine itself. The linear bearings in there are giant. I don't remember what the size are, but they're huge. Here's a quick video looking down in there at all that. The build plate is stainless steel, laser etched stainless steel. It's not aluminum. The arm up here has load cells in it, and when it goes down to level, it reads the load cells down here on the screen and does this little juju magic to level and zero everything out, and then it's ready to print. And if you need to manually level it, they walk you through how to do that. There's some plugs you take out, and it tells you exactly what to do. All on the screen tells you what to do. You don't have to go to Reddit, Google, Discord, or any of that to figure it out. They tell you right here. If you have problems with the machine or the software or slicing, anything like that, from their slicer, you can get help immediately with their team. I had a issue where something happened on the back end and I got stuck in a loop with trying to upload a file. And I played around with it and played around with it and played around with it, and I wasn't getting anywhere. So I finally reached out to their team, and it was in the middle of the night. Not expecting to get a reply back, and within minutes I had a reply back. They actually fixed it, and I was able to start the print. It was just that quick. So they have the back-end support too if you need that. The machine, I can't stress enough how well built all of the stuff is. It doesn't feel hobby machines. This feels like something at a business level, but it's at a hobbyist price. So, links in the video description down below. Um, again, for people that have never done resin printing, or you've tried resin printing before and it's failed miserably, or you've looked at it and you're like, how do I orient this piece? How do I set up the supports? What kind of supports do I use? This takes all that guesswork out. It'll orient the piece. It'll add the supports to it. And there's supports on the stuff that I did supports on, come right off. Beautiful job cleaning them off. No post-processing needed. You just grab the piece, peel the supports off, and you're on your way with it. So, links to everything in the video description down below. Can't stress enough, they will take all the guesswork away from resin printing. They'll take the guesswork away from the printing itself, how to orient the model, how everything works with the resin stuff, how long it needs to wash, and the curing station. And this doesn't just turn lights on. If, in the case of this material I used here, which is the PAU11, because I used their slicer and I loaded it to this, it determined that this needed to be, I think, 47 degrees Celsius inside here before it started curing. So you close this, you select it, it brings it up to temperature, and then it cures it. And it heats it up in there and cures it. So all the guesswork's taken away. There's another tank that goes with this. It's down there in the box that's heated, and some of the materials you need heated. And it also has another module, which I didn't get, but it's a pulsing release module that plugs in right back here, and it actually pulses I think it blows a pulse of air in between the two FEP sheets in there to release the model each time the plate lifts. Like I say, I didn't get the pulsing module. I don't have any of they didn't send me any of the resin that requires that, so they didn't send me that module. There's going to come a day that I'm going to get it because there's a resin that I want to use for another project that requires the pulsing module, so I'm going to buy that. I'm going to use it. There'll be videos about it. And like I say, I did a video start to finish from slicing the model all the way through curing and everything else. Link in the video description down below. I did that as a separate video to try to keep the time short on this one. It's just some of my test pieces, and unfortunately I don't have them out here to show you because they've already been through the things that break the test pieces. That's also coming. That's not something HeyGears asked me to do, but I can't get a new material without testing it and seeing where it breaks at. So I'm going to develop some testing procedures for resin-based prints, and I'm going to add that to my list of stuff that I do testing on. So hit that thumbs up if you like the video. Thumbs down if you don't. Drop a comment. I try to respond to all of them. Sometimes they get away from me. I do have a full-time job, and I travel a lot now. I'm on an airplane more often than I want to be at this point, but hopefully in the next 2 months that's going to settle down. But thumbs up if you like it, thumbs down if you don't. Hit that subscribe button. It really helps the algorithm. If you want to see when the next video drops, hit the little bell icon. And comments, love them. As always, I appreciate each and every one of you that take the time to watch this from the beginning to the end, because I talk a lot and don't say much, but we get there. And as always, peace out.